Yep. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Take the roll.
McTaggart.
Here.
Alt.
He's here.
Bill. Curtis. Johnson.
Okay, are there any public comments? Hearing none, we'll go to Randy Schultz on our insurance.
I heard from the risk management department at the company, just for those of you, make sure everybody's on the same page. So part of what you would get from the insurance company is some suggestions as to how you can keep the claims lower. They had sent out some information about wording, sample wording for contracts, and some whole farmhouse wording. And my experience is that doesn't always hold up, but if they slow things down a little, they might keep somebody from putting in a claim if they put it in frivolously before. So I gave a copy of that to Nita, and maybe you can have him look at it or see what you think about it and add it to the sample contract. Also, they had suggested that a while ago when we've been doing it, where all the contracts for independent contractors, like snow removal and lawn mowing and that kind of thing, that they all add the county as an additional insurer. And what that does is it allows us to take advantage. If there's a claim, you get some protection under their insurance policy, and ours gives you another layer of protection. But the thing that they said that they've been seeing a lot is, and I know the county asks for certificates, proof of insurance from all these contractors, but you also want that additional insured line on that certificate to make sure it says on there that the county is the same thing as the insurer. I don't know, Anita, if you want me to take a look at any of those, there's a few things on the certificates that you always want to make sure are there, and maybe we can take a look at that.
Okay, I will.
Otherwise, that's it.
Okay. Accord.
Yeah.
Susie?
I think pictures with the area of reimbursement arrangement. We're at 6.85 and then we will be ready to work with the carrier to get the renewal. They can't really wait until December, but we'd like to get everything together so we have it for your July. So we'll be working with that.
Very good. Thank you. Ginger is not here, so we'll come back on that in case she arrives. I guess next on the agenda was to discuss changes to the insurance bid packet. Looks like we have a proposal here.
This is a copy of the last one. I gave you all that copy last month, and I think you were all going to look at it and try to see if there were any changes you wanted to make in it for this time. Did anybody?
I did, but I can send it on to you.
Okay, great. So they won't go out yet. We voted last month to send them out in August with a September 1st date renewal. So we have a little bit of time, but I just don't want us to miss something that we feel should be included. So.
Anybody else have any comments? Guess we'll just leave it on the agenda for future months. All do our homework to look at it. Okay, there's nothing else on that. I think the next topic was discuss the revolving loan fund resolution. We all have a copy of that, and Ken is Fairtree is present. Maybe he can make some comments about that.
Amanda, you gave everybody copies. They probably didn't copy what you read.
No.
Should I take it? Candy for a guy. Yeah, I guess I sent it to all of our committee members. I don't know if you guys got a chance to read it. It was kind of late, it was yesterday morning. On page 3, on the one that you had, you look down into the number 2 section there, you'll see where it's lined out, all other application information is kept up, and so the sentence prior to that, right in front of it, was in red on the one that I emailed out, where it says sensitive information that would constitute an unwarranted invasion of privacy as described in the Freedom of Information Act will be kept confidential. That same exact phrase is in the Appendix A as well, word for word. Jim finally came, we thought we had a completed package here, we were ready to pass it out to you pretty close last month. And Jim Devine, reviewing it, had some questions. I think I sent some of them to the committee members. We, I guess, in a friendly way argued, I insisted that you cannot put people's personal financial information out there hanging on the wall for everybody to see. It makes no sense. The financial people that are from my side of the committee were adamant as well that you cannot do that. Jim did find a spot there in the FOIA, I believe it was, rules and regulations. Let me see, Jim's word, I'll use his wording. He says that there is a section in the Freedom of Information Act law that will keep the financial records of applicants confidential. It is the section that deals with personal information which, if disclosed, would result in an unwarranted invasion of privacy. He says that problem is solved. The other argument that we had is that we cannot, as a committee, I say we, but a committee that ultimately determines whether these applications are viable and whether to recommend them positively to the Finance Committee, cannot go into a private closed meeting to discuss those personal financial documents that I don't want anybody to. It's nobody's business, you know. I mean, to me, it's outrageous to say that that's public.
I'm going to speak here.
Yeah,
Let's remember that it is everybody's business because this is taxpayers' money that they're asking for.
And that was Jim's
That's the
argument.
difference.
If you're
Right.
asking to borrow public money from a public group, accounting board, you cannot go into closed session. He did, like I said, find that one clause that will allow the documents to remain private. But if during a discussion, it'll be discussed. So during that discussion, some of that information will be public information. And I don't know, I guess we go forward with that. John and I talked about maybe getting an Attorney General's opinion, but I think we decided that that's probably what they would come back to with us. But I think we'll go forward with that. It may not be a problem in any cases. I think probably if I had to say to people that all these financial statements and everything that you're giving me, they're going to be published, that would probably right there be the end of the application. I personally wouldn't give out everything about my wife, my kids, and my third cousin to put it up on the window of the courthouse for everybody to go read, you know. But I understand the situation. We've got public money, it's tax dollars that originally started. Well, these are tax dollars that came from the federal government, so it's still public money. I understand that if you're going to borrow that, you have to be forthcoming with all of your information. I'm just upset that it cannot be done in a closed session where, you know, I mean, you've got people that would look at that and make a decision and make a recommendation to the Finance Committee that I thought would be acceptable. It is not. Another comparison I guess I could make is to the Watsika. They were thrust into the same situation that the county board was. Anarga, their revolving loan is newer. It was after the date that the federal government decided that they would no longer oversee them. But the city of Waseca is in the same case as us. Their opinion is that they can have closed meetings. They didn't, no, he didn't say can have closed meetings. He's having, his committee is made up, the loan review committee is made up of totally private individuals, no councilmen whatsoever are on that committee. So they felt that would put it arm's length, but I think that they'll probably find that that's a problem. We discussed it at great length, and they've had it set up by a consultant. And that consultant's been working for them for 20 years or something, and that's how it was set up. Jim, I think, I can tell by the look on Anita says she agrees with Jim. Jim feels that that consultant is incorrect in their interpretation of the rules. So this is our guideline that you guys have here. It's not a problem to do what we want to do. I was just adamant that we should be able to do a executive or closed session to discuss the seriously private and sensitive documents of a person that's applying. I'm wrong, but we can keep the documents from being distributed by the one clause that Jim found. So, in fact, there's a clause when I'm talking to the city of Waseca. They're handling it like we are, although they've made different interpretations of it, and they don't feel that there will be a problem, and I don't think there will be either. But I know we've got some prying eyes that look at it pretty consistently, and I'm sure, and Jim was being very, very intense reading of some of the different laws on that, trying his best to find some reason that we could do what I wanted to do, and it was not there. So he's being careful. I don't blame him. But can I answer any questions? My disappointment is my disappointment. Nobody else.
Can we put up for, we can review this and suggest changes to you on that, or how's that work?
You can if you like. Charlie, Russ, and Mike are on the committee that basically put this together. This is, I think that the city of Waseca ended up with 5 pages too, so it's kind of funny because there's like 105 or 110 pages in the state's manual that I condensed down to 5 pages, and I thought maybe I was a little exuberant with my marker, but the city ended up with 5 pages too. Coincidentally, they're not the same document. They did theirs, we did ours. But I think that you're welcome to look at it. If you have any questions on it,
Well,
I would certainly listen to them.
Right here in the requirements for managing the RLF, I think that we've already seen enough with issues with the 911 and everything. I don't like that the chief elected official of the Oakland County Board shall appoint an RLF administrator. I feel like the board needs to have input on that, not just another appointment. Page 3, number 3.
Okay.
That seems to be an ongoing issue, and I don't feel like one person should make those appointments. I feel like as a board, we should all have input on that. And I think that that's in review right now with some other committees, so.
Yeah, that's kind of over my head, out of my bailiwick. Aren't they approved when those appointments are made? Aren't they approved ultimately by the board?
Well, there's no question. When an appointment is made by the chairman, an appointment is made by the chairman, doesn't matter if the vote is. But that's become an issue in some other areas, so why would you not want the full board input on that rather than one person make that choice?
That wording was not our committee wording, really. It came from the what small chunks that I was able to glean from the state guidelines. That's where that wording came from. But that's your discussion. We can change it if it needs to be. At the present time, at this moment, I've discussed revolving loan with a couple of people, told them that we were in the process of putting the program together. I have nobody that is standing in line at the door waiting to fill out an application, so there's still time. If there needs to be a review, there's still time. I just want to get something, as late as the day before yesterday, Jim and I were still going back and forth on this thing, but I want to get something to you so that you can do considerations like you're doing.
The big issue I can see here is something that you got, the federal government says you got to do this one way, the government, but when it comes to the loan industry or banking industry, they have a whole bunch of other guidelines that they got to go by, and 90% of what we'd have to do to meet one fails the other one. So it's a federal government guideline situation that it gets into the biggest question that we're dealing with here, which I don't see that really should be a problem. I think we should move ahead with it as is, and if the issue comes down, then we'll have to do some deal with the, what they call it, red tag ruling in the finance industry, I think they called it, where, I mean, just somebody's name that had put an application in a business cannot be available to any other eyes other for the actual bank
I can
employee.
fill my wastebasket once a month with the paperwork that the bank send me, tell me how careful they are with my
They're called red tag ruling or something they come out with about 5-6 years ago, and any information on the person is actually got to be secured, locked down, where if somebody broke into the place, they can't go look at Susie's information or whatever, you know. That's another thing.
I think it seems in line with what, like you said, that the federal government had determined was the way to administrate it, and we're following the rules, and with the advice of the lawyer, I think it...
Russell, I believe that you're right. The financing world wants to lock down as few hands of this pass through as possible, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But as far as our agreement, I think we got the best we can to dance with both worlds, so I think we really should move ahead.
Which leads me to the actual resolution. This is not a resolution.
Right.
I mentioned last month the auditors at year-end when we were going through the audit, and I tried to explain, because we closed the old fund, and at year-end, during our audit, that money was sitting in the capital improvement fund. That wasn't an issue. When I explained to them, we're moving it out and we're going to start our own revolving loan fund. In order for those funds to be restricted as opposed to unrestricted and used for anything, there has to be an ordinance or a resolution indicating that money is designated for a certain purpose. And that has to be an official county resolution. I talked to Jim about that, or I sent emails, I think now the last 2 months. And I talked to Jim the other day, and he was going to have the draft here today. But that money cannot get moved out of the capital improvement fund until we have that resolution adopted by the board. It has to stay an unrestricted fund for general county use until that time occurs. That official motion has not happened. So that money is not available. Well, it's available for anything, really, at this point. Yes, if Ken came forward with a loan, you could loan the money out, but it's unrestricted general fund money at this point because there is no definition, no ordinance restricting its use at this point.
We don't have the paperwork, because basically we voted it one way, but don't have,
Right.
haven't got the paperwork for it.
Right,
Makes sense.
right. So we're waiting for Jim on that.
He's doing a resolution, right?
Correct. That was supposed to be here today, but I know he's getting ready for a bunch of trials next week, so.
I was hoping he'd be here too. I don't want to talk out of school. So I haven't said too much, but we had serious discussion.
other thoughts or comments on that?
You don't need a vote of anything right now?
No.
I think many years ago, there were a couple other things. In recent days, Buffalo was the one that weighs heavy on those, so.
What can I say, insurance mandatory thing? I see that as number 9 there.
We were unable, I was unable, and, yeah.
I think some loans don't qualify for insurance anyway.
Yeah, I kind of grayed that out because the yet to be determined, I think, is that it will not be determined. I've talked to a lot of people, no one knows of any insurance that will insure a loan. They will cover accounts receivables and things like that. But no insurance company I spoke to will insure a loss against a bad loan. Nobody has that kind of policy, right? So I know.
Okay, but
Roger was referring to the things that changed up the T&D, and I think there's some confusion there between financing receivables and factoring and other things. So that is not what we'd be doing, so it doesn't fall into the proper thing. I don't think, basically what I'm saying, I don't think you can insure it. You just need to make good loans. That's the other thing. I was sitting on the committee to loan the county money out. I want all the collateral I can get, try to cover my tail, you know. You'll never get first collateral, first decision, you know. These loans will be as part of a package with the bank, and more than likely. And the bank's going to get everything they can before anything else is let up. So if somebody puts up their home, for example, and it's worth $100,000, and the bank wants $50,000 of collateral, we could have the other $40,000 of collateral, but we would be second line. And that's how we do that. I think in every case it's going to be that way. That's why Jim called these inherently riskier loans than the loan a bank would make, because we're kind of standing behind them.
So, and maybe it's in here, I just haven't seen it. Are you guys going to put like a cap on what you're going to, I mean, if somebody comes in and wants most of the money you have, is that a possibility, or are you going to try and divvy that up so that you get as many people? I mean, are you going to put like, we'll do a 20,000 loan or on a case-by-case basis? I mean, how's that going? Where are you at with that?
I think our group didn't address that. I would prefer, as an example, I prefer to do about $10,000, $50,000 loans as opposed to $500,000. It would do so much more to help us incubate businesses, but it also spreads the risk, you know, so that if you do have some extra loans, you don't.
In the past, what I remember seeing is it depends on how risky the loan was. I know we did some, like in Anarga years ago, we did a very large one over there. But at the same time, when it comes to the true risk factor with the academy over there, the risk was very, very low. And at the same time, we had nobody knocking on the door for money for years before that. So since nobody knocked on the door for quite a few years, and these people come along, and so we threw out a big sum at them, and it worked out very well for all involved. But we still did keep some back, so if we needed to do something for a $50,000 one or whatever, we still could have. I mean, it's $300,000, I think we did for Nexus, the Nargis Seminary. I guess they're there, I mentioned names,
Now you got a guy to fill what comes in. You might expect something coming in, it'll be just the opposite in the loan business.
Yeah, I guess from my standpoint too, I look at it slightly different than the board would. You're looking at it as you make a loan and you get some businesses and you get some jobs, but you also want to get a return on that a little bit so that
fund can either grow or at least replenish the problem. And in my case, go ahead and make some money if you want to, but I want to get some businesses in here and grow, and hire people that'll maybe start a cottage industry that can bring some other people in. That's my whole bag. So if we make some money on it, that's great. I'm not
There's
concerned about
never
that.
going to be two identical. It's like used cars that have the same race car, the same manufacturer, with the same miles on it. I'll guarantee you, they're not the same car. And same way on loans. Everyone's going to be totally different, and so there's no way you can have a solid black and white, this is where we're going to do it, and
That'll never happen.
and actually reap the benefits of what the program's supposed to do.
Okay, well, I guess we'll table that until we hear from Jim and have further discussion on whatever he brings to us. Okay, thank you, Ken.
My pleasure.
Department head reports, Cindy?
The solid waste disposal fee has matured. I will go ahead and renew that and put the committee together ideas for that money, but I think it's always on your treasurer's report. It's a little over $226,000.
Are we going to set up again pick up like we did last fall?
I don't know, Charlie, there is $34,500 liquid in that account, so if you...
I think it was handled through management last time. We
We
probably should start in well, it'll be June now, because by the time we get our dates and everything lined up. Yeah. I don't think we did hear how much it cost us last year.
We did, but financing very well.
That would be a nice thing to start with, how much it was less than we anticipated, if I
I
remember.
think Larry took charge of that,
Yeah, he
you
did.
might know.
Yeah, I think it's been like 12, that's how much you need them? Our electronics recycling, that's 12 grand?
No. we didn't.
Budgeted for this year is 20. Last year, we spent, I think it ended up being 15,000.
15.
So,
I know the value is a lot stronger, so, of course, it's the first time it's been done for a long time.
Yeah, it may not be as much volume this year. Maybe it will be, you never know.
Anyway, there's so many things to play with it.
Yeah, the date you have it and everything else makes a difference.
So I'll proceed and renew that fee for a year. Thank you.
Bob?
Information is under the report.
Bob? Dee?
On Tuesday, I reported to the Health Committee the decision by the Memorial Hospital Board to discontinue the service programs for the National Child Health Program that they have through the Iroquois County Community Health and Social Service Center. Currently, they hold the grant for family case management and Healthy Families in Illinois. We hold the grant for WIC, but we sub-award that. We don't subcontract that to them, we sub-award it to them, which means they are the complete service provider. So the program is in their hands, they weren't able to apply for it, so we applied for it on their behalf. Last night, we discussed that situation in detail with the Board of Health, and pros and cons were weighed, the benefits and the risks were weighed, and the Board of Health decided to take no action, which means that the Iroquois County Public Health Department will not be taking on the programs that they provide services for as a service provider.
So there should be no budgetary impacts then or anything with that as a result of that?
Yeah, we missed the deadline to do those applications, so there's probably no chance of us getting it those anyway. And the other one was extended just till this Friday, so I would have to have found housing for those programs. I would have to have staff hired prior to Friday, salaries determined, costs for equipment, all, a complete budget worked out and turned in by this Friday.
not realistic.
It's difficult. I told the board that if they wanted me to do that, that I would do that. But that's not feasible. The real issue here is caseload numbers. I told the health committee on Tuesday that the WIC caseload, which typically ran 80s and 90s, low 80s and high 90s, or excuse me, low 90s and high 80%, is down to 66% of their assigned caseload. With no OB hospital, with no OB at our local hospital, that's where all the referrals come from. It's not possible without those referrals to increase your caseload. I mean, you could advertise till the end of the earth, but I spoke to one of our surrounding counties. I talked to Millen Helm from Livingston County Health Department. Her caseload is at 59%. She's going to continue her current grant, but has already implemented significant increases in all of her other fee-for-service programs at her health department to help cover that. I'm not sure that that would be in our best interest for a program that we know we're not going to have referrals on. If I thought for 1 minute that I could keep those numbers even at 66%, things might be a little bit different, but I don't see that happen. People are not going to have babies in their county because there's no OB. They're going to go out of the county and they're going to have babies in other counties, and some of those county hospitals have their WIC services in the hospital. These are people in the hospital. How do you compete with that? I'm sad. I'm very sad. It breaks my heart. I think that they're valuable services. I think that they're needed services, but it's not feasible for us without a referral source.
You don't think you get referrals from the physician offices?
I think most of those referrals will come out of OB. They've traditionally always been very small.
There's no OB. Don't you think that the doctors might pick up on the people come up to the office?
I think that's possible, but I don't think those numbers would be high enough to achieve a caseload that would make the program cost effective without having to add taxpayer money.
Any other comments? Eric?
Nothing special financially to report. Obviously, it's been raining a lot, and I've been paying attention to that. You see maybe 3/4 inch overnight, and it's still raining. It was supposed to. More rain tonight, but as of right now, I'm not expecting any sort of residential flood. Just agricultural flood.
Thank you. Okay, Anita, storage cash trend.
It's really only there as a placeholder, so we
Okay,
don't
yeah.
forget, but next month
Next
will
month.
be
Okay.
a quarter, so we'll have it next month.
Very well.
First quarter, report.
It'll be 6 months next month, halfway through the year.
Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Claims.
Second quarter.
One have their claim packet. Any questions or comments or?
Looks like we got some management stuff here, management, slate claims from management.
Yeah, there are a couple from that Kennedy that we didn't get in time.
I don't think anybody's gonna argue about the toilet paper we've got, so I'll move that we pay these bills.
Maybe they don't.
We have a motion to approve the claim. Second. Mr. Curtis. Take the roll call.
McTaggart?
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Curtis? Johnson? Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move to old business. New business.
We got we adjourn.
Second. All in favor of adjourning?
Is that a case of toilet paper? Aye.